My name is Nicole Henderson, and 6 months ago, I let my 17-year-old daughter's 23-year-old boyfriend move into our home. He seemed responsible, kind, and my daughter Amara was in love. 2 weeks ago, Amara bought Ancestry DNA kits for the three of us as a fun bonding activity. When the results came back, we opened them together in our living room. The DNA test showed Marcus as a 50% genetic match to Amara, not as her boyfriend, as her biological father. The man living in my house, dating my teenage daughter, was her father, and he knew it the entire time. He was David, the man who got me pregnant 18 years ago and disappeared. He found us, changed his identity, and deliberately pursued a romantic relationship with his own daughter to get to know her. That DNA test saved my daughter from something unspeakable. I'm 41, a single mother in Durham, North Carolina. I had Amara at 24 after a brief relationship with a man named David who vanished when I told him I was pregnant. For 17 years, it's been just us. 7 months ago, Amara came home from her Starbucks job glowing about a customer named Marcus. "He's 23, Mom, and so mature. He actually listens to me." Every alarm bell went off. A 23-year-old pursuing my 17-year-old daughter? When she asked to invite him for dinner, I agreed, not to approve, but to assess the threat. Marcus arrived with flowers for me, not Amara. Polite, well-dressed, saying all the right things. I grew up in foster care, never knew my parents. I really admire what you've done raising Amara alone. He was charming, too charming, but Amara looked at him like he was everything. Over months, Marcus became constant in our lives, always respectful, always had Amara home on time, never crossed boundaries. But the age gap haunted me. "Mom, he's different," Amara insisted. "He wants to help with my college applications. He's a gentleman. We're not even having sex. He wants to wait until I'm ready." That should have reassured me. Instead, it made me more suspicious. What 23-year-old pursues a high school girl and doesn't pressure her? But I couldn't articulate what was wrong. Everyone thought Marcus was great. My coworkers, my mother, Amara's friends. I felt like the paranoid, overprotective single mom. 5 months into their relationship, Marcus showed up at 11 p.m. saying his roommate kicked him out. "Can he stay on the couch tonight?" Amara begged. Against every instinct, I agreed. One night became a week became months. He was so helpful, fixed things around the house, cooked dinner, helped with homework, paid rent without being asked, just until I saved for a new place, he promised. And I started to rely on him. Having another adult in the house made single parenting easier. I was exhausted, overwhelmed, and he made life simpler. So I ignored the voice screaming that something was wrong. Amara had wanted to do Ancestry DNA tests for months. When the kids arrived, Marcus was home. "You should do one too," Amara said. "You never knew your family. Maybe you'll find relatives." For just a second, I saw something flicker across Marcus's face. Fear. Then it was gone. "Those are expensive," he said. "I'll buy you one," Amara insisted. Marcus looked at me. I swear I saw calculation in his eyes. "Okay, sure, why not?" We sent our samples together. 4 weeks later, the results arrived. We opened our results together in the living room. Amara went first. "I'm 52% West African, 35% European. Mom, you're showing up as my first match, obviously." She scrolled through relatives. "Wait, there's another 50% match. That only happens with parents or siblings. Mom, did I have a sibling?" "No," I said, heart racing. I looked at her screen. Marcus Williams, 50% DNA shared. Relationship, father. The room went silent. Amara stared at the screen, then at Marcus. This must be a mistake. Marcus wasn't looking at the screen. He was looking at me, pure guilt on his face. "Marcus," I whispered, "what is this?" "I can explain. What is this?" Because I am, Marcus said quietly. I'm your father, Amara. Amara ran upstairs, sick. I stood and faced Marcus. Tell me everything, now. I'm David. David Martinez. I disappeared when you got pregnant because I was a heroin addict. Took years to get sober. When I did, I couldn't stop thinking about the baby. I found you. Found out I had a daughter named Amara. Beautiful, smart, perfect. So you decided to date her? I wanted to know her, but you'd never let me near her if you knew who I was, so I created a situation where I could be close to her. By making your daughter fall in love with you. I never touched her sexually, Marcus said desperately. I told her I wanted to wait. I just wanted to be near her, to know her, to be her father without the complications. You groomed your own daughter. I called the police immediately. Marcus was arrested that night for identity fraud, deception, and charges related to grooming. Even though nothing sexual happened, the manipulation, pursuing a romantic relationship with his biological daughter under false pretenses, was criminal. Amara has been in intensive therapy since. The emotional damage of being in a romantic relationship with her biological father, even unconsummated, will take years to heal. She thought she'd found someone who loved and chose her. Instead, she'd been manipulated by her biological father who wanted access to her through deception. Marcus's lawyer argued he just wanted a relationship with his daughter. The prosecution argued his methods, lying about his identity, pursuing romance, moving into our home, constituted grooming that goes beyond wanting to know his child. I live with crushing guilt. I allowed this man into our home. I ignored my instincts. I prioritized my daughter's happiness over her safety. That DNA test, a $79 bonding activity, saved us from something potentially catastrophic. If Amara hadn't suggested it, how long would Marcus have continued? Would he have told her before college? Would the relationship have escalated? I don't know. What I do know, that age gap between 23 and 17 isn't about maturity, it's about power and predation. No matter how nice he seems, no matter how helpful. If a man in his 20s is pursuing your teenage daughter, there's a reason, and it's never good. Even, especially, when that man is her biological father who had 17 years to reach out honestly and chose manipulation instead. Looking back, the red flags were everywhere. The age gap itself, the she's mature for her age language, targeting her at work where she was vulnerable, being overly charming to me, moving quickly into our family, the I'm different from other guys isolation tactic, not pressuring for sex, grooming patience, creating instant deep connection, manufactured intimacy, wanting to move into our home, gaining access, and my instincts ignored completely. I tell other parents now, trust those instincts. When something feels wrong about your teen's relationship, investigate. Don't let your daughter's insistence that he's different override your protective intuition. Legal doesn't mean appropriate or safe. A 23-year-old has no business dating a high school student, regardless of the law. Amara turned 18 last month. She deferred college for a year to focus on therapy and healing. She won't talk to Marcus, won't read his letters from jail. As far as she's concerned, David/Marcus doesn't exist. And I support that completely. He had 17 years to be a father honestly. Instead, he chose to groom his own child into a relationship based on lies. That's not love. That's predatory behavior. Marcus is facing years in prison. Amara is slowly recovering with professional help. And I've become an advocate, warning other parents about age gaps and grooming tactics. That DNA test saved my daughter. If you're a parent with concerns about your teen's relationship, trust your instincts. Get help. Investigate. Protect your child, even when they insist you're overreacting. Because sometimes your worst fears are right.
And sometimes, a simple DNA test can expose a predator hiding in plain sight.